Hello, I hate myself, and welcome to another episode of Once Upon a Witchlight. We would really appreciate it if while you're enjoying this episode, you could like the video, subscribe to our channel, and check the bell so you never miss an episode. And while you're at it, if you would like to support us, the best thing you can do is check out the links below to our merch shop and our Patreon. We couldn't possibly do this without you. Thank you so much for your support.
Mwah.
Hey everybody, my name's Chubby Checkers, and I like to do a little dance like hold the twist.
Derek, sometimes I don't know half of the shit that comes out of your mouth, man.
Nicky said every time he does it, it gets me. Every single time. You think how long we've been friends? Say it, please.
Oh, that beautiful beat, put it in.
Once upon a witchlight hour, the sleeping queen stirred in her tower, and through grand halls past lock and key came to her slumber dreams of three. The first brought laughter filled with fright, the second love defiled by spite, the third a world of pure delight. She welcomed these, they were her own, but soon from porcelain lips a groan, her silvery dreamscape now forsaken, to pain from which she'd not awaken. Something blighted had come hither, foul as nightshade creeping thither, from yon the grave-like curse did wither. The little prince wept in his spire, his wounded heart had one desire, a ballad from the dreaming queen could turn his maelstrom mind serene. He vowed her rescue, speech sincere, but toys would be his shield and spear, and so he scoured for 1 full year. In springtime wreathed in parenthood, the prince first found a toy of wood, a doll set, beasts and wild things, but listen close and each one sings, a song of child, owl and bear, a song that calls the spirits there, a song for monsters with much hair. When summer heat steamed like a kettle, the prince then found a toy of metal, a rocking horse with ashen mane. Around its neck was draped a chain. Its horn and eyes and nose shoot flame, with mighty hooves and sturdy frame. No better steed one could proclaim. He searched from autumn's harvest throne. The prince then found a toy of bone, lettered blocks stacked to the sky, when turned to words could only lie. Deceit known to the hounds of hell makes for a potent hex or spell of souls, of sin, of Shadowfell. Through winter's chill from peak to pass, the prince then found a toy of glass, marble spun in measured motion, like careful thought or certain notion, each glinting cat's eye seeing all, from stars beyond the cosmic sprawl, to inner strength and mind's recall. When season stopped, the final day, at last the prince found halves of clay. He shed a tear. This would not do. His favorite toy was split in two. It stank and had a horrid face, but in his heart held special place. Through toil this crack he would erase. The day has come, no time for rest. The fateful toy is placed in a chest, with stripes of white and stripes of red, just like a big top by his bed. The little prince prepares a flower for either outcome, sweet or sour, and makes a wish for love, for power. Once upon a witchlight hour.
You find yourselves in the hut of Bavlorna Blightstraw. The first room you enter is not what you expect. It is not a room meant for living, but for one of bathing. A recessed pool lined with moldy clay tiles takes up most of this large square room. Stagnant water fills the depression to a depth of about 1 foot. Rising from the pool's center is the head of a stone well that gives off an unpleasant, pungent odor. In one corner of the pool stands a tall, dirty, freestanding mirror in an oval frame, and floating on the water is a large lily pad. Creaky wooden floorboards are arranged in a 10-foot wide raised walkway around the pool. This walkway is crowded with shelves, tables, and stools in all shapes and styles. Almost every available surface is littered with stacks of dirty plates, scraps of food, and old junk. Dressing dummies are pushed together in one corner, and a wooden staircase spirals up from another corner. 5 closed doors lead from the room. And as you look in, you are met with an array of scents, all of them pungent, but most of them coming from the fetid pool in front of you. You can see the bottom portion is clearly lined with algae and a thick coating of what is more than likely the sloughed off bits of human skin. Looking at the pool, it is easy to see that on a normal day, it would be full to about 3 feet, but only about 1 foot of stagnant water remains in it. Looking towards the well, you can see that water is very slowly pouring over the sides, but not in any motion that it would need to fill up this space. You listen, but all is quiet aside from the creaking of the swollen, damp wood that this entire hut is made from. As you strain your ears, you imagine that you can hear voices somewhere further up in the house, but it's hard to pinpoint where from. Definitely more than one. And as you look to one of the doors, you see that it is slightly ajar, and creeping around the side is very clearly one of Bavlorna's lornlings, these tiny frog-like creatures that are made in her image. It looks towards you and it smiles as it skitters across the creaking wooden boards, splashes into the water. You see it wince in pain for but a second as it stands in front of the mirror. It looks towards you, and with a wide open grin, you see it begin to speak. I want you all to roll a perception check for me, please.
Ooh. I hate these guys, let me tell you. +7 to that.
Perception?
Yep.
Ugh. Torbeck rolled like Torbeck. Torbeck got an 8.
Torbeckable.
Grico got a 10. Oh.
I got a 20.
Dread.
18. Oh.
Yeah.
Is it me still?
Nope, just you.
Oh.
Only you can't see
I
it.
got a natural 20.
Oh! It's
24.
faded. It's faded.
Okay.
It's fake. Holy shit.
I see.
You dread me again.
I'm just staring at the bath and
I'm gonna dread mace.
I got 24. You can dread me again?
No, it's okay. I'll dread mace.
double dread.
Double deuces!
17.
Okay. Thank you. The sound of the splashing is shockingly loud, but it is the hiss that emanates from this lornling as the water touches its skin that catches your attention. You watch as it mouths a word, but none of you are able to determine what word is said.
Shit.
As the mirror begins to swirl with a strange mist, and for a moment you see a hallway of mirrors.
What?
And at the very end, the 2 bits of a tailcoat as someone turns a corner. Someone you recognize. Stripes of red and stripes of white on the coat of Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. As quickly the lornling darts through the mirror, the surface ripples and it solidifies. You stare into the mirror for a second, and you still feel like you can see the faint outline of the Hall of Mirrors and the 2 figures of the men that you knew what feels like so long ago. As it turns to a pure pane of mirrored glass, and all that's reflected back in it is the greenish, murky water that it stands in.
Did anyone catch that? That word?
What did it say? That little horrid, awful... I plugged my ears as soon as it opened in Matt's mouth.
Some kind of password.
Also, what's that, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light? I told you guys that they were no good. You should have still stolen the watch, Grammy. Fuck those guys.
No, that's how they were getting in. They're using mirrors to travel through.
It just looked like that room we came out of.
And you saw the stripes are white and stripes are red. Just like the big top by his bed.
What?
Yes,
What the fuck was that?
Weird way to say that.
I don't know how to say that.
What is Mr. Krabby saying?
I was distracted by this bath. Is it the same one I saw in my dream?
It is.
In
your dream?
I swear to God.
In your dream, it felt much smaller. This is a large room, and it is taking up the majority of the room. It's almost as if there is a large pool inside of this room, and there are these swollen wooden planks around it, almost like a deck around it. And in one corner, you see that there are stone steps that go down into it. You can clearly see around the rim of it where the algae is older and had been caked on, where the water line normally sits, but you can see that it is about 2 feet lower at this point. Flies and mosquitoes dip down onto the water and float back up. The lily pad is not attached to anything, but floats on one portion of it, the mirror on the opposite side from the steps, and all lining this room outside of the 5 doors, one of them being the one that you came in through, are dirtied plates, bits of old food, rotting pieces of meat, moldy cupcakes and pies and things.
Traditional hag fodder.
As well as in one corner you see there is a rotting spiral staircase that's leading up to the floor above. And then in another, you see that there are about 8 to 10 mannequins in varying sizes that are all dressed in an array of what appear to be handmade garments. Bits of haphazard pieces of fabric stitched together roughly, making a shape of what you would imagine someone would wear. But unlike any garments you've seen before.
So would you say that the bath is about the size of like an indoor pool at an airport Radisson kind of size?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Is that a good...
I was picturing
say, yeah.
more like a bathhouse sized bath. Like
It's
this thing's
much
like 10
large.
feet by
So
10 feet.
in the very center,
I'm thinking
you
Madison.
see one of the wells that you saw when you were your first day in Hither, when you met the will-o-wisp. It is very clearly one of those 10-foot diameter wells, and it is coming up out of the very center of the floor, and it has been pumping swamp water into this.
It's like the
Into this
bathtub
pool.
in the prefects.
When I pictured Bavlorna in the bath during the dream, it was maybe I was just misperceiving, so I want to adjust my mind memory for Frost. I was picturing like Bavlorna, like almost like in a cloth,
Like a clawfoot tub.
tub, and like very shrinked and like this, while like tiny
No,
people.
what you were seeing was her in a tub much larger.
So this
It's
this
still
matches.
only about 3 feet tall, so she, if she were like, she could fully cover herself in it, but you saw her probably on one of the steps as the Lornlings were helping to
Got it.
to pour water over her
So
skin.
my deduction is not that Bavlorna can grow to great size in order to accommodate this large bathtub. That's just silly, Derek.
That's just silly, Derek.
That is just silly.
silly,
That's
Derek.
just silly, Derek.
Treats it for kids.
All right, fellas. Keep an eye out.
And keep your voices down. I propose that we attempt to steal. I mean stealth.
Oh.
Not actually rob Bavlorna, but
we should do that too. Remember that was the plan.
well, yes, but I don't.
Peace, but steal in peace.
Don't touch anything. That isn't something that we intend to steal for the purposes of our mission here.
All right. Oh, and while we're here with the mirror, I think we should keep an eye out from that little halfling fella. Remember him?
The Lornling.
No, remember the little halfling guy that went into the mirror?
Yeah.
And we saw the pig like beckoning him through the mirror?
No.
Oh, no, you want to hear from him. I'm not talking to you. Remember that, fellas?
Yes, I remember quite vividly.
Oh yeah,
What I would
he
say is you remember that the sow pig is the minion of a different hag.
Someone should make that point to me right
I was just about to say, criminal, that was the sow pig. That wasn't that little nasty frog fella. So they probably all got mirrors in their witch's hat.
That deduction is logical.
Which means that these fucking Mr. Witch and Mr. Light the whole time have been bamboozling us. We should have just fought them.
No, we knew that they were in league with the hags. I mean, this is a new
But they're like, oh, we're not so bad, we promise. And we're like, okay, goodbye.
That might still be true, but it's not like just because we went to that carnival and they got out of whatever horrible deal that they had wrapped up in.
I don't believe that either of them willingly work with the hags.
Well, I think the definition of willing is maybe debatable.
No, these hags are capable of deceit and of turning people's minds. I mean, think of the Eladrin that we met, who's lost his heart. They may have gone with good intentions, but are now trapped by their deal that they made with the hags, is what I'm trying to say.
I think it was selfish intentions, but maybe not malevolent.
Well,
that's a better definition.
Or I think perhaps even not selfish to play devil's advocate.
Well,
is perhaps they prey on people in times of desperation, offering them a deal that sounds too good to be true, and therefore it is, and there's always some monkey's paw, so to speak.
So we have to make sure that none of us feel desperate. We have to make sure we don't make any deals. Correct? Are we all in agreement about that?
Well, I mean, depends on what we're getting.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
No, that's exactly my point.
Your powers are strong here.
I don't know. Torbeck doesn't know. Torbeck's kind of with Greco. Torbeck's kind of always
Greco's kind of with Torbeck. Yeah.
Desperation would probably be Torbeck's last name if he had one.
And middle name. Torbeck, desperation.
He seems like Desperado, and that's kind of cool.
Oh, man, it's kind of cool.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I think we might have to make some kind of deal. Gia, do you mind doing a little jig for me?
Sure. What kind of jig would you like?
I don't know, some kind of fashionable square dance or something.
Okay, well, I'll do it.
That's not.
Oh, that's right. The Darkling stole the jig.
Yeah,
you're not getting jiggy with it at all.
What do you mean, man?
I mean, that's not a jig at all. He doesn't even recognize how bad it is.
Oh, no.
And it sounds like she
dancing used to be all I know.
I know, it was a terrible deal. And so she could return it, but maybe we try to trick her into, making some kind of deal that's good for us and bad for her. What do you think, fellas?
I feel like I'm very well equipped for that.
Oh, Torbeck agrees. I mean, Greco's pretty smart.
Well, thank you, Torbeck.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Just let me do the talking.
All I'll say is from a certain point of view. And then we can get all we want.
That does seem to be a magic phrase.
I don't know. We haven't gotten the best of any of these deals we've dealt with. Even just like the silly bandit hares we ended up killing in the swamp. They stole portions of our soul.
Yeah.
How are we gonna outsmart this hag who's making deals with everybody?
Oh, we should keep an eye out for the soul bag.
Soul bag? Okay. Let's get a list. Torbeck, take this down.
Okay.
Filthy soul sack.
I'm writing too.
We need Clapperclaw's head, which I believe is some sort of gourd.
Oh,
Or was it a nightshade?
Please.
A nightshade.
It's an actual scarecrow head. He has the gourd right now. We need to get his
Clapperclaw
actual...
told you what their head was.
Yeah, it was like a
goat's head.
It's a turnip. Right?
A crab head.
It was
No. It's a
race
stag skull.
Stag.
Oh, I didn't know we were going into a little folk horror. Oh, this is quite nice, actually. That's actually pretty cool. I kind of want to hang out with Clapperclaw now. Yeah.
Five with the big old
So, okay, so it's not a gourd. So can you stretch that out, Torbeck?
Yeah.
So take out Nightshade. So Nightshade redacted.
Are you attempting to be quiet in any way?
Gourd.
Yes.
No. Gourd redacted. Keep it down. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
We cannot I feel like it's very in character for us to be like, hey, we completed the dungeon. Oh no, we forgot about all of those things that we were supposed to do.
Yes.
I want us to go into the dungeon planning to platinum it and get all of the trinkets that we need to get. There's going to be so much stuff here. It'll be easy to miss.
Torbeck be writing all of that.
Yeah, yeah. The platinum it, and we need to be prepared so we don't
Torbeck, can you
squander
roll a
this
sleight of hand
opportunity.
at disadvantage?
Yeah. Torbeck can.
Okay.
I'm not saying this is a
disadvantage?
bad idea. I'm just saying shut the fuck up and speak one more.
Oh, heaven.
Perfect, thank you.
And so, we also need to find that little halfling fella. He's not going to be here. We need to find where'd that horse go? The horse head.
Horse?
Say horse question mark?
I mean, who knows with that? Well, that might just turn out.
Horse head?
The Burley's cousin.
Oh, there's
Burley,
we need to find the goat so we can rip his heart out.
Go.
Goat, and that's with 2 T's. Oh, that messed me up for a bit.
T. Heart.
We need to look for a satyr in a cage. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna let that go.
Cage.
I told you not to say it.
Well, I'm just saying, he's probably here.
Look.
What
Sam, the
else?
satyr doesn't exist, alright? I don't know fucking hear about no satyr, no cage. You understand?
Hey, it does exist, I swear it. Anyways, what else we got?
Oh, man, I didn't have a lot of faith in you when this began, but you really run down the whole list. I mean,
I'm sure we're forgetting something.
We're definitely forgetting something.
What else?
Burley's cousin.
Oh, Burley's cousin, Hurley. Hurley. Okay.
Hurley.
And the nature of Mr. Witch and Mr. Light's deal. Maybe
Okay,
there's some
the
sort of written
nature.
record of it.
Or perhaps the terms, the fine print.
Print.
I think that's it.
Well, we also have to get the item that we're here for.
Torbeck's running out of room.
the only thing that matters. We gotta get what we came here for.
The memento of the present.
Print. Hold on. Let me. Torbeck draw an arrow. Present.
The je ne sais quoi.
How do you spell
You
that?
said that correctly?
The joie de vie. Write that down. Write that down.
The Cirque du Soleil.
The Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque Day.
A croque madame as
Is
well.
that
The soundtrack's
everything?
all right.
It's license everything anyway.
And kill the hag.
Oh, I like that.
No.
That's Plan Z.
Yeah, that's Plan Z.
It's still Plan.
Oh,
But it's the
and
last
all
one.
I
of
just
the,
thought we'd add it to the list. You know what I mean? Just in
All
case
of-
it comes up.
If anything, the ideal outcome is that Bavlorna doesn't trick us into some sort of horrible deal like she's tricked so many others.
Tricks.
And no, stop right.
Okay.
The ideal outcome here is that we don't have to kill anyone, and that we are able to convince Bavlorna to give us the object for altruistic reasons, perhaps, or for her own selfish reasons. Perhaps we can change her heart. I don't know how we're going to do that, but it's...
I'm just, every time we haven't fought somebody and we've dealt with them instead, it's been way worse than just fighting.
You mean worse as in boring for you?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. I'm glad you finally started to get it.
What do you mean? We got that free mediocre spaghetti dinner. Remember that?
Well, yeah, remember how they were making
Oh,
it?
yeah.
How are they mixing it up? You know, they didn't have any hands.
Yeah, and they stored it in like little Ziploc baggies.
Gosh, what didn't even sit well for the next day? You know, you had to eat it all in one sit.
Yeah.
There's one last thing that I want to remind everyone of before I ask the DM to let me make an intelligence check to see if we've remembered everything, which is to say, we also have a ace up our sleeve.
What's that?
Well, it's a metaphor for having some additional leverage on Bavlorna. We know where her Book of Grudges is. And if we make a deal
It's
with
called
her
the
to get
Big
it,
Book of Bad Blood.
the big book of...
Bad Blood.
And... What?
That's a nice reference I didn't get from us, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a Taylor Swift reference.
Oh, well, look at
The music video is actually quite entertaining.
Selena Gomez.
Anyways,
Stronger than Metal Gear.
if she asks us to retrieve it, then we know exactly where it is, and we might be able to go and face the Darklings down.
So, are we committing more false flags here, or do we already? We're just checking on the false flags.
That's done. I don't think we're gonna count on that. If it works, works. But I'm worried she's gonna be like, "Go find it," and we bring it back 2 seconds later. She'd be like, "Oh, I tricked you. I just proved that you all hit it."
It's not. Can you just write this down while I'm thinking of it?
Yeah.
On our way back, whenever we get back from the Palace of Host Desire with our wagon of riches, let's swing by Jingle Jangle and say, "Hey, have the rabbits beaten you with sticks again?" And if they have, let's just kill the rest of them.
Oh, Torbeck thought Torbeck killed the rabbits. That's what you guys said.
Well, you killed many of the rabbits. You and Twig killed many of the rabbits.
One of them. Twig killed 4 of them.
Wow,
I just hope that they
I didn't intend to kill 4 of them. I just was trying to protect my friends.
I'm just hoping that you killed all of them. Otherwise, they won't feel like whole people for the rest of their
lives.
lives.
The bullet starts coming out of me, and then I'm not. I think I relate to Torbeck a lot more than I realize.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Torbeck is sorry, Twig.
At some point.
That's a good idea. Group therapy.
Twig and Torbeck. Oh my gosh, we're double D.
Double what?
Double D.
Double D.
No, it's
Double D?
Torbeck is interested.
It's not Torbeck.
I'm not that
and
interested.
I'm not Twig.
Ah, well, Torbeck's easily confused with the whole Ribble thing.
No, I meant because your name starts with a T and my name starts with a T too.
Yeah, Torbeck's on the same
and you
page
both
now.
committed war crimes.
That's unfortunate.
That really depends.
The
We
war crime
weren't currently
duo.
in a state of war.
Various unforgivable.
Is there anything else
That's
Torbeck
true.
needs to write
You
down?
play at war, right?
Oh, that's true.
Is that everything?
Jingle Jangle.
Torbeck got that.
My name's Twig.
No.
We
You-
got Jingle Jangle. The rabbit stole it, and Petunia brought it back to
Yeah,
her.
okay, that's just checking. Just checking my
If
own
you do
brain.
a bullet list, you can write down kill the hag, but the bullet should be like a dotted line circle, like in the video games, like an optional.
Oh,
And
yeah.
a smiley face next to it.
Yeah,
so it's like enticing.
All right, hold on.
No.
Hold on.
No,
Yeah,
smiley,
just fucking-
no.
put a little smiley
Hold on.
face.
Dotted line.
Yeah.
Gideon, think
Okay.
it'd be okay if I don't know, put my feet in the water?
Well, I mean, I don't think that anything bad could possibly come of it. It just looks kind of gross, and
I
that looks
know.
maybe like there's human skin in there. So
Well, I think it's the stuff that comes off when you bathe, but because there's no drain, it just sits on the bottom.
Oh, so it's hag
Wait.
skin?
Before we do that, Torbeck just wants to make sure we're done the list, and maybe we give it to Mr. Crowley for safekeeping. Are we all in agreement the list is
Yeah,
done?
One moment.
We have our quest
Let me
log.
consult my mind palace.
All
Can
right,
I roll intelligence to see if I've
20
forgotten
minutes.
anything?
Fucking meditate.
you forget stuff all the time.
So you think while he's doing that, I could put my feet in the water? Because I think there's frogs in there.
No, look. I mean, didn't we see like a little guy go in there and then hiss and die or something?
Oh, did he hiss and die?
yeah. I
He hissed
think
and
that did
died.
happen.
He hissed a little bit, and then it went inside of the mirror.
Oh, he just left. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, maybe you put your
if
toe
Florida,
in.
takes baths in there, it's not like it's going to kill a twig.
Well, but it's also very likely you won't enjoy it.
I know, but I can test it out. What if there's something interesting going on with it? You don't want to explore it? I want to explore it.
Well, first let him mind the palace, and then we can jump in the water.
We gotta get it all on the list.
I think into my mind palace, and I remember the bullets.
Why are you
and
telling me this, Frost?
I'm not talking as Rico. Wow, as Frost right now. I'm
I
talking
know
as
you're
Derek.
not talking as
Angela!
Rico.
We had a deal.
Yes, Derek.
I think of the soul sack. I think of Clapperclaw's head, stag skull. I think of the goat with the goat's heart. I think of the satyr in the cage. I think of Hurley. I think of the light witch deal. I think of the memento of the present. Do I think there is an 8, 9, or 10 on that list that we need to be looking out for?
What did you roll?
23.
Ooh.
You imagine that there are other things that are happening in Prismere and things that are relevant to what you need to be doing, but you don't think that any of them pertain to Bavlorna's hut.
Or to commitments that we've
Or
made.
to commitments that you've made that would be relevant to this moment in this place.
Oh.
There are other things that you imagine with a couple of days thought and really focusing on. There are some things in Yon and in Thither that you are probably forgetting, but nothing here. You feel like you've nailed it.
The horse head was also Scabberfa. So, little halfling fella and Scabba, I'm pretty sure he was shorter than me.
Unless, I guess there's one thing would be you know that Bavlorna is the one that took Jingle Jingle's name. But Jingle Jingle didn't, I don't believe she tasked you with trying to get her name back.
Oh, so we did have something else.
Okay, I hide that inside. Leave
And freeing Willa from her terrible fate.
That was something you guys decided.
All right. Torbeck's added it. Are we good?
Yes, we have our quest log.
I'm gonna give this to Mr. Kremmy.
All right,
Everything's on the list. Torbeck didn't know what Clapperclaw's head looks like, so he drew it. And then for the optional quest with the smiley face, Torbeck drew Gideon because he thought that was appropriate.
Oh man, it's like looking into a mirror. Look at that handsome guy.
Can you read it?
Torbeck, what language is this in?
Probably Goblin.
No, it's common.
Ah, yes, Goblin.
What does it
The
say?
script of the gods. No, this is very nice penmanship. It says,
Thank you.
it says, quest number 1. Find Mankirk's wife. Question number 2, kill Hogger. I don't know who that is.
Oh, no.
Chat would really like to see. So
Question number 3.
Wait, so, I mean, this is literally just chicken scratch with a pumpkin head and Gideon's face.
No, it's
You can
everything.
see right there it says number 3, disrupt the Defiance Brotherhood.
That's everything you guys said.
That's
Oh, there's a
true.
little, in parentheses, 5 next to it. Is that a dungeon quest? You're going to the Dead Mines to do that one?
Yeah, we have to make 5 noggin foggers elixirs. I don't know how we're gonna get all those ingredients.
One of these literally just
that
reads
was
bullet
such
point.
a shit quest.
It was
Has anyone else heard of Edwin Van Cleef?
no.
Stupid fucking...
Torbeck didn't write any
Oh,
of
Edwin
that.
Van Cleef, isn't his whole thing that he's like a contractor with sour grapes?
Yeah, no, he got fired like when he was working on Stormwind.
Well, to be fair, he was, falsely accused and pegged for a crime he didn't do. Like, really, justice for Edwin Van Cleef. But that's neither here nor there.
Are you got one of those Edwin Van Cleef did nothing wrong posters?
No, that's exactly right. Edwin Van Cleef did nothing wrong.
Van Cleef was right.
Yeah, Stormwind really fucked that guy.
Well, the road to hell and all that.
Twig, no!
I was honestly, I'm sitting here, I'm like, do I say they hear a loud splash?
Hell yeah,
I feel like there's no better time for Twig to have done. There's no other
You know
thing that Twig
what?
would have done.
Because I was thinking it and you solidified it, yes. At this moment, you hear a loud splash as Twig not just sticks her feet into the pool, but she rears back, runs, and jumps into the pool. She's clearly seen a frog leaping about on the inside of the water, and she goes to reach for it. She's only about 1.5 feet tall, and so the water extends up much further than you expect. The bottom of this pool, though you could see bits and pieces of the stone, is covered in a mossy layer with bits of dead skin and frogs and insects and a plethora of things. You hear the sound of a plate as she clearly kicks a dish when she lands, and she reaches down to grab the frog as she lets out a loud yelp. Ew! 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 Burns! Ew! Twig burns! Twig burns! Get in! And she just starts screaming and screaming as she's looking down at her skin, and you can see that her skin is turning red.
Get her out of there!
Shane did for her to grab.
I will say she is focused on the fact that she's dropped the frog as she looks down at her hands, and they're turning red with whatever is in this liquid. But you're able to wrap the chain around her and yank her out of the water. As she comes flying towards you, you're sprayed with bits of the water, and you feel a sizzle and a pop as it hits you. It is not as bad as she made it out to be. She's quite a dramatic little thing, but there is clearly some sort of acidity to this thing.
Twig, are you okay?
Ow!
Does she look like if she needs to get washed off?
She looks like she could use with a dousing of fresh water, yeah.
As a storm cloud will appear, as you'll see a silhouette of like a spectral thunderbird, and she'll get doused in rain as I cast Create Water.
You almost turned into the grandmother from Dante's Peak there for a moment.
I don't know what that means, but I dropped the frog. Oh no.
Why'd you dive in there?
Because you guys were talking about stuff I didn't understand, and I was waiting for you to tell me whether I could get in, but you weren't telling me because you guys were talking about stuff I didn't understand.
Wait.
So I just thought, well, you know what? There's a frog right there, so I'll just go get him, and then I'll get out before he even notices.
Twig,
Yeah.
we're in the House of Bavlorna, a very powerful person, and very much an evil person. Hag. And we need to be quiet. We need to not be impulsive.
Well, what am I supposed to do when my skin's burning off, Frost?
Your skin wouldn't have been burning off if you didn't jump into the bath in the first place.
But something's wrong with that water, though. It can't be that acidic in there all the time. It would start eating through the wood and the stone and everything else. Something's wrong with it.
Must have gotten to a hotter spot than Splash makes. I don't really think it was.
Okay, well then you get in and try
Well, I
it.
don't want to get in. It's gross, and it's definitely. But I'm not getting into the poison.
Why, because you're a little
water.
bitch? That's what Chuck was
Okay, I'll go on.
Oh, yeah, Gideon, you were a bitch.
Okay, all right, I'm in the pool. I'm in the pool. I'm standing in a little bit, okay?
What are your pants made out of?
Acid-proof linen. I don't know. What are pants made out of? Cotton? Cotton?
Wool.
The equivalent
Polyester.
of cotton?
You jump in, and at first you're like, this is nothing.
Yeah, this is nothing, Twigs. I can't believe
Until
your
you
skin was even
feel
burning off.
the water fully hit your legs. You can feel the sizzling and the popping as the hairs on your legs start to melt away. And it is definitely painful. It's the equivalent to if you've ever taken a handful of salt, put an ice cube on it, and held on to it.
Yeah, I don't feel good.
Have you ever done that?
No.
It causes a chemical reaction that like burns.
It hurts like hell.
It hurts like hell.
Why would you have done that to yourself?
Oh, I don't know. We just did it at work for fun.
Great.
Oh, it worked.
Just to feel something. Just to feel anything.
I don't feel anything.
Salt and ice today.
Just remember something funny at work.
And you look over to Twig and you see that the bottom part of her dress is actually has eaten away. That there are parts of it that have been almost melted by whatever acidity is in this, and you feel that happening to your shoes and the bottom parts of your pants.
Gideon, get out of the pool.
Doesn't even hurt at all.
Get out of the bath.
Doesn't even hurt a little
Gideon, you
bit,
can
but
lift
it's probably time to get out.
You're making a face that it probably does hurt.
No,
Gideon.
this is just how my face is
That's the
sometimes.
face of a little bitch.
No, okay, it doesn't hurt at all.
No.
I'm gonna get
So
out.
it's totally fine. It was just a twig thing?
No, I can tell. No, he's in pain.
No.
I just know.
One of your toenails just floated to the top.
No, that was my favorite toe. Oh,
You have a favorite toe.
Can we tell that his hair, like the hair on his legs, is being melted away?
It would be hard to tell. Stepping into it, he definitely stirred up some of the stuff that had been settled at the bottom of the pool. So you can't see it, but you can tell that he is in pain. No matter how he tries to mask it, beads of sweat begin dripping down your forehead. The embers in your hair are glowing even brighter as you try and hold off the pain.
It's like angry pain.
Occasionally, a whip of flame will jut out from your beard as you are just steeling yourself against this.
Do I, just in the brief moment that I'm in this pool, do I feel anything significant about the pool that would occur to me, being in it? Or
Being
just
in
that
it-
it's acidic?
It just feels like it's acidic, and you notice that it is the organic material that's melting away. You notice the buckles on your shoes, any metal parts that are on your shoes seem to be completely unaffected. But the organic bits are what is affected by this.
Gideon, get your organic bits out of the pool right away.
Whoa! What happened to your ankles?
Your ankles are completely inflamed. It looks like you've had a very aggressive wax. All of the hair on the bottom parts of your legs have been completely seared away, and the bottom portion of your trousers are completely missing.
Jorts.
Torbeck's got a couple problem areas on his backside. Maybe I can do it.
It really wasn't.
Okay. I feel like
You
this.
take 4 points of acid damage, and you definitely you have some welts and some blisters that have started to form.
Wait a minute.
All your hair's missing. It's amazing.
Do we think that frogs
That
are
was
immune?
before I went in.
Are frogs immune, seemingly?
I mean, that frog seems okay. Was it worth it again?
Well, I just had to make a point. Twigsy, but answer your question. No, it wasn't.
So what's the
Thank you.
I do like these. I feel like I'm wearing very sharp jorts now, though. You know, so I feel like this is a pretty cool look.
Very fashionable.
You have incredibly muscular calves for someone that's kind of a bitch.
Maybe we should bottle this.
Okay, Twigsy, all right.
I'm just really
I jumped into a
frustrated.
whole acid pool. You were in there crying to get out. I walked right in and only cried a little bit, okay?
Yeah, because you expected it. If you had just jumped in there unknowing that you were going to start frying your bits off, you would have screamed too. That's not cool to make fun of me. I thought we were friends.
I never made fun of you.
Yeah, you did.
I said, if I pulled you out, I saved you from the pool. I pulled you out and you called me a bitch.
Because you said it probably wasn't even that bad.
Well, because it splashed me and it didn't feel quite as bad.
Okay, well, it was quite as bad, wasn't it?
Okay. I'm going to try one more thing.
I don't want to fight anymore, okay?
I don't want to fight more.
There's a lot of tension. And I feel like we need to get to the bottom of this pool. No pun intended.
Okay.
I feel like we can't leave this alone. It probably isn't a red herring.
We can, because there are 5 doors in this place. I don't know if you saw it, but there's one over there.
Yep.
Then there's a staircase that goes up.
All right. Yep.
There are no doors on the back wall.
No.
And then there are 3 doors on this side wall over here.
Are we counting the mirror as a
Nope, I'm not, but that's a 6th door
That's
for
what I was
counting.
about to say, technically speaking.
And then there's one behind us from
From
whence
a
it
certain
came.
Should we check the back wall for doors? Perhaps there's a pattern. Or we could bottle this stuff in the bath and sell it. We could call it Nair.
Why would you call it Nair?
Because it leaves you
I think it's a portmanteau of no and hair.
Go beat Torbeck to it. Torbeck wanted to say portmanteau.
Isn't it a
No, that's not how you pronounce that.
No, it's not.
Portmanteau.
Oh, poor man's toe.
Yes, that's how you can think of it. Okay, I'm going to turn into a frog. A bubble gloop frog. And jump in there.
All right, well, when you jump in, Torbeck will put his butt cheek close to the water. Just don't dump in there, and if you get in trouble, grab onto Torbeck's butt cheeks.
Frogs are immune, okay?
Torbeck just needs to take a little off the bottom.
Why don't we have, let's go to a barber shop or something.
They don't take Torbeck.
Oh, that made me sad.
Well, burp, and I'm going to turn into a frog with like a tail. I look like Froggy from Sonic Adventure 1. And I'm going to leap in.
How many hit points does a frog have?
1.
You leap in, and immediately you watch as the flesh of this frog sizzles and pops as Rico bursts out of his frog form.
Oh, God, frogs are enough! Grab Torbeck's butt cheeks! Grab Torbeck's butt cheeks! Oh, my God! Torbeck's butt cheeks are right there!
Still on my thing. I'm slipping out.
I reached out with my mind hand. I had it off the whole time. I'm sorry.
Torbeck's butt cheeks were right there!
Okay.
Enough of this pool, all right?
Looking towards the frog that Twig was going after, you clearly see that it is not the type of frog that you normally see here and there. The colors of it are more like a neon green with bits of bright red and oranges. And you would imagine, being a druid, that there are different types of frogs, especially in the Feywild. Some that might be more acclimated to acidic conditions or to hotter conditions. And your standard run-of-the-mill frog is going to suffer the same ill effects as any bit of organic material might in this
Lads.
acid.
Are you all right, Rico?
I suddenly need to meet this frog. And so I'm going to pull out of my pack a large glass bottle, and I'm going to sneak up by very slowly pressing
It's in
on.
the middle, close to the well.
We'll come back to it. I'll put the cork back on there.
Do you want me to grab it? I can grab it.
Oh, yeah, can you grab it?
I can try.
Yeah.
I will endeavor to grab the with my mind hand.
Sure.
Okay, and
Roll a. What would you do for a slippery frog that doesn't want to be held by an invisible hand?
Well, it depends on whether my mind hand is a dexterity or intelligence fueled thing.
I'm saying it would be dexterous for the hand to hold on to a slippery frog trying to get out of it.
Then probably a dexterity check.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, I'm going to do that, and let's hope that I don't slip on it like soap in the shower. 16.
Okay, I rolled 14. So you are able to grab onto this frog. Your hand holds it as tight as possible without crushing its insides, and you're able to pull it out of the water. And you watch as the frog flies towards you on this invisible mind hand.
I drop it into the jar.
You cork it?
I'll cork it, but then I'm going to... I'll take my nails and poke in some holes.
Yeah, there you go.
What now? Oh no! This entire time, while all this was happening, I was looking at all the bookshelves and shit around the room, trying to get something done.
You look around, and it is exactly as was described. There are bits of food and debris. Old plates, mold. One thing that does catch your eye is you make your way towards one of the corners of the room where all of the mannequins are stacked. And you see that the outfits that are put together are made from varying pieces of cloth from what appear to be different outfits that are pulled apart and sewn together. And the silhouettes that they form are unlike anything that you'd ever seen. All but one, which looks meticulously made. It's not an outfit, but on the head of one of the mannequins is a beautiful black witch's hat.
Ooh.
It comes to a pristine peak. The ribbing up the side, it almost looks like it's constructed inside out, where you can see the sewn channels up the side. But looking at it from the distance that you're at, you don't see stitches. It's just almost perfect. You're picking it up?
Yeah. Hey, fellas, look at this.
You reach forward.
Didn't I say we shouldn't?
You reach forward to pick up the hat. But it is not a hat that you're met with. As the creature springs to life, it opens like a hideous octopus, its thin, hook-lined tentacles connected by a fleshy web. You have never seen one of these before, but you've heard of a dark mantle.
Yeah.
And as it springs to life in front of you, you expect your fate, for it to attach to your head, but it doesn't. It angles itself towards you and snatches the hat from your head. And in an instant, pops out of existence, disappearing with your hat and all.
No!
Hey, Cuddy, I've got a frog!
What was that?
Are you okay, man?
He took my hat.
What? What happened to your hat?
Fucking thing.
What do you?
I thought it was a really nice witch's hat. I was trying to find some sort of stitching or something. I thought it was like a really high thread count, just really, really nice fabric, and I wanted to see if there was a maker's mark on the inside.
Like 2,000 or 3,000, yeah.
Yeah, at least. And it wasn't a witch's hat at all.
What was it?
It was a dark mantle.
Oh, yeah, no, that was a mistake.
What's a dark mantle?
It's a beastie. It's a beastie that disguises itself. Would I know what a dark mantle is?
Yes.
I don't. Okay. It is a beastie but disguises itself very well as a variety of different objects. And this time, it was a hat.
They can often be found attached to the ceilings of caves.
I'm adding Cremmy's hat to the list.
Like a Lovecraftian bat.
So it's like a creature?
It's the appearance of an octopus. Or like a squid, octopus kind of thing.
With a bunch of
As soon as Mr. Krabby said it.
Yeah, Roger Moore always was my favorite.
Really?
That doesn't surprise me.
That surprises me.
With a Grammy? Does that really surprise
I
you?
was always a Pierce Brosnan man.
Same.
I mean, just
Just
because
got
we grew up
a certain
around that
swagger.
time, I mean, they weren't as good as Roger Moore. Anyway, we don't even get into that right now.
Have you ever seen The Shining?
Have you seen Live and Let Die?
Okay, I feel like we're not off to a great start.
No.
Okay, I want to. Can we all just center ourselves for a second? Hootsie, you've been very nice and very polite and well behaved. Let's all breathe in and all breathe out. Okay. We have a frog. We lost a hat. Hello, frog. Are you alive still?
Ribbit.
Oh, well, we'll get acquainted and I will study you later. It's nice to meet
Can you speak to the frog? Perhaps the frog has pertinent information.
Ribbit.
Oh, my goodness. I think I can.
I mean, I don't want to hear what it's seen, but perhaps it will help us in this quest.
The things I see.
Oh, I've seen things you can't imagine.
Flakes.
Ignore me.
flakes, they haunt my dreams.
So, anyway, it took my hat, and then I don't think it destroyed it. It looks like I just took it, but then it just disappeared.
Did it go invisible, perhaps, with taking the hat with it? It could
You
be
would
in
imagine
this,
that is probably the case.
it could still be in this room.
So I did not prepare. I could normally speak with it, but I'm not ready.
Oh.
However,
You're not ready.
I'm very spent.
Well, perhaps we'll just sleep in this room for 8 hours, and then...
We're gonna lose all our clothes if we stay in this room any longer, man. Torbeck's the only one immune. He doesn't wear anything at all.
And you look over at Torbeck, whose ass cheeks had been submerged in the 1 inch thick of water, and you see that he looks like he's wearing furry assless chaps. Because where had there been hair covering his butt cheeks, there's hair no longer. And there's just a circle of hair.
The flesh is super red, right?
It looks like a baboon. It looks like a
red.
baboon ass.
And he's got quite a few. He's got quite a few pimples.
How do you sit?
Weirdly enough, the bumps and the boils and pimples were all already there.
It looks like a star chart. That is remarkable.
It might have cured the pool. Might have cured Torbeck's hemorrhoids, though. Torbeck doesn't really feel the. No, they're still there.
That's a nightmare.
I don't think there's a hemorrhoids, Torbeck.
Really? Torbeck can't afford a real doctor.
Somewhere, someone has been predicting that you will be the chosen one, and they're gonna look at your ass and go, "Ah, yes, the legend foretold."
First the Brigand Prince, and now the legend foretold. This is too much for Torbeck.
Can we talk about my fucking hat for a second?
Oh, yes.
Let's look
I
around.
lost my fucking hat.
Let's look around for the fucking
It's
dark
probably
panel.
invisible.
Okay, I'll
So
see
let's
if I-
kill the fucking thing and get my hat back.
Cremmy,
Yeah, what?
I believe they can go invisible or make it dark. I can't remember which.
Mhm.
I didn't really study that closely.
Magical darkness.
Yes, exactly right. So, I could find your hat, potentially, the direction of it, but it is a lot of resource. It's a lot of power.
Use the fucking resource.
Do you think we will not need it later?
Before you do, I have one quick attempt that I can.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you attempt it?
I use my mage hand once again, my mind hand, and it has a movement speed of 30 feet on its turn, and so I'm going to endeavor to try to very quickly just sort of circle the current corners of the room and feel the ceiling, feel the wall. I'm doing a very fast, just to see if I can hit into anything that shouldn't be there.
Okay.
And I will endeavor to do that.
A roll perception.
But you can't see the hand either.
Touch me!
It's invisible tag.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
If it's invisible.
Natural 20.
Oh!
23.
Dread.
Wow. Got him.
Well, that sucks.
I think go with the big one.
No.
Not that one. No. Should have gone with the big one.
All right. Give me some 12 action.
You are unable to find anything as you skirt the edges of this room. You imagine that with how quickly this thing moved, it would be near impossible. It would have taken a natural 20 to be able to find this thing. And yeah, but you endeavor to.
I endeavor to.
You endeavor.
It's fine.
What the fuck are you waiting for?
I mean, maybe we'll find it in another way.
No, you said you can find my hat. Find my hat.
We gotta get his hat back, man. I mean, that'll go on.
Okay. Find the hat, 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 find the hat. Crummy's hat! I guess locate object.
Okay, how does it work?
It's a second level spell. I describe it. I describe an object. If I've seen it up close with 30 feet, I've seen it many times, seen it a lot closer than that. And if the object is within 1,000 feet of me, I know the direction, I know the direction to the object's location for 10 minutes. I have an arrow pops up on my mini map towards Crummy's hat, and if the object is in motion, I know which direction it's moving.
As long as you're within 1,000 feet.
Oh, but it cannot locate an object in any thickness of lead, even a thin sheet, if there's lead.
Okay. Well, lucky for you, this hut is made of wood and not lead. And you were able to sense that the object is traveling up. Not one floor, but two.
Oh, I called it. It was a free floor dungeon. I can pay up to a back, but...
off camera, we did that.
One for one second.
Okay, pay up. I can finally pay back my bookie.
I owe you. Sorry.
I'm gonna give your information to my bookie. No! I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but your hat is moving upwards. To the top of the hut. I can feel it now in my magical frog brain.
How far
right
up?
up the stairs? You mean?
Right up the stairs, yes. It's going up there. So, that's the good news, is that it's probably not leaving this place. So as long as we don't leave without the hat, it just added to,
And so for
add
10
to the
minutes,
list.
you can sense it.
Okay, was that 10 for 10 minutes? Yep, for 10 minutes I can. Yep.
Surely one of these doors must go up.
Well, I mean, there's a stairway right here, right?
There's a spiral staircase.
Torbeck is trying.
Well, hey, it's also possible the doors go up. I mean, there's just a staircase.
Torbeck's never been on an adventure before.
Well, so this is your first adventure. We've been on a lot of them, from levels 1 to 3. And you need to clear out each level. You need to 100% each level before you go up.
Yeah.
That's the rules. I don't make the rules.
Everyone pick a door.
It just seems like the Torbeck. If the staircase is right there, then why are there doors?
Look. It's okay, Torbeck. You're trying your best, all right? We all understand. We're not judging you.
A single silent tear rolls down Torbeck's cheek as he smiles.
He said the thing about the doors.
This is so fucking mean.
We're not judging you, all right? This is the first time.
Okay.
It happens to everybody, all right?
Yeah. All right.
We understand.
Okay.
Torbeck, you get to pick the first door. Because this is your first adventure.
Does Tor get to pick a door?
Well, what I was going to say is that
pick one, and then you can pick one.
we're not splitting up, all right? The last time we split up, I lost my hat. All right? So let's stay together.
You want 10 feet away from us.
Yeah, I split up from you guys, and I lost my fucking hat.
All right, well, let's not split up. We'll do it one door at a time. And whoever opens the door, they need to have this word in their mind. Pineapple.
Why?
If you say pineapple, I will use my mind to close the door as quickly as possible to shield you from danger.
Oh. Why pineapple?
What pineapple?
Why?
Why pineapple? Just because it would be something that you wouldn't say in shock or surprise normally. It's like a safety word.
I say it whenever I stub my toe.
You do?
Yeah, I stub my toe and go, pineapple!
Well, perhaps we should pick a different
Let's
word.
choose
Yeah,
a different
I think
word.
so.
Yeah, let's choose a different one.
What word would you suggest?
Fuck!
No, that's what all of us would say if we saw danger.
What about shit?
No, any swear word doesn't work. It needs to be
Okay.
something mundane.
Poopy butthole.
That's not mundane.
No, we wouldn't have to say that.
We wouldn't say poopy butthole.
Doesn't Torbeck say that? Like,
How many times have we said
Torbeck's not even ever said that once, Gideon!
I mean,
After his dip, probably. No?
yeah.
He bleached it.
It's like an anime sword. So
Poopy butthole it is, I think.
we should consider that maybe now we can actually split up effectively. I know that every
I
time
don't
we've
think it's a good idea to
No,
split
we're
up.
not.
well, I mean, so yeah, that's true. I guess every time we have investigated before you guys joined the party, it was we'd split up, and it would be me and Hootsie, Cremmy and Gideon, and then Frost would go off on his own. Frost would always lose his glasses. Cremmy and Gideon, we lose track of them for hours.
Didn't you tell me that you'd hear a lot of weird noises coming from the direction they went open?
and
Those were always the monsters we were
And
talking
then
about.
you come back all sweaty,
I
disheveled.
know. I said I was spooky ghost.
Spooky ghosts.
They said that they ran into ectoplasm, and then Hootsie and I would discover a fully stocked fridge filled with cheese, meat, and bread, and we would shuffle a sandwich together.
Oh, that's amazing!
It was an abandoned. No, but it was. It's a trick. It's a ghost. It's abandoned for 50 years, and there's a working fridge, and we ate the food every time.
Was a
Greco.
ghost.
How were you able to balance that sandwich? It's remarkable that it didn't topple.
Oh no, there was a little toothpick with an olive on it.
Wow, that's the trick!
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Well,
So it never worked out for us, is all I'm going to say. But now that there's 2 more members, we can Flim Flam and Vincent Van Gogh this.
Who's Flim Flam?
oh, you don't know Flim Flam?
Who's Vincent Van Gogh?
You don't know Vince
Yeah,
Nope.
Hey, just constantly mad. We tried to change up the formula to our adventuring party, and it didn't work.
No,
it didn't
they were
work.
very lame.
I do like the name Flim Flam, though.
Yeah. Anyway,
we did all the hard work while you were stumbling on the ground and you eating snacks.
I don't wear glasses. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
well, you don't wear them because you always lost them. That's why.
Pause, that's your fucking catchphrase.
Look at my face right now. I'm not wearing fucking glasses.
No, then why is your catchphrase? My glasses, I can't see without my glasses.
Fuck.
That's my catchphrase. That's what I say. See, mine have a big old crack in them.
Now I want to see if I still got it.
Well, hold on.
Shuffling sandwiches.
Yeah.
Let's flip a coin.
I don't think we should split up. I just have a feeling.
No, we're gonna. Who chooses the doors? Is it gonna be Twig or Torbeck?
Well,
Or why don't?
I feel like Torbeck, it's his first adventure.
I feel like Torbeck messes everything up, though.
No, but that's not nice.
We're
that's
only going
not
to do
nice.
we're going to go with Torbeck because you jumped so spontaneously into the pool. No,
Well, yeah, but you put your hands and feet in there, so you got horrible
which is
blisters
why
and burns
both
all
of
over
you
your
are not
hands.
going to choose the door.
Hey!
There! I only did that because you guys were saying stupid stuff.
You can choose the second door.
And I only did it because you called me a bitch.
You don't
You
get
were
to choose
being
the
a
door.
bitch.
You said specifically I was a bitch if I didn't go in.
Yeah.
I can't go back through this with you again.
I feel like I want you
I
back to
feel
the
like
theater.
we should let Torbeck choose because she's having a rough day, and then we let Twig because she got burned in acid, and then Hoochie gets to choose because she's precious.
Go.
As you said that, you guys look over your shoulder. I'm standing by door number 4. It's already open. I picked one.
Which one is door number 4? There is a door behind you that you came in, which would be stupid to pick.
Right, not that one.
There's a door off to the left-hand side.
Okay, we'll call that door number 1.
That is where the corner with the spiral staircase is.
Yep.
There's nothing around the back wall, and then there are 3 doors in line against the right wall.
Oh, then in that case, if we don't count the door we came in, we'll call it door 1, 2, 3, and 4. I will have opened door number 3.
The rightmost door.
Oh, so
No, the middle of the 3 doors.
The penultimate door.
the middle of the
The
3
penultimate
doors.
doors.
You
The middle of the 3.
open the middle of the 3 doors.
Which Torbeck is calling door number 3.
You open the door,
and immediately you are hit with a wave of wind and fog. As this is clearly a door to the outside, what you find yourself looking at is that this side of the hag's hut is clearly hanging over the precipice of land that it's built on. Ooh. And there is a rickety wooden staircase that is heading up towards the second floor. And as you look out towards it, you see that this staircase has been clearly unattended for a long time. It looks precarious, and you're unsure of its ability to carry weight. And you see that beneath it, there is no landing. It drops straight to the lake below. Okay. You also immediately hear bzzz, and as you look up, you see that there is a door going to the second floor and a giant wasp nest that is clearly attached to the
this is some fucking Resident Evil shit.
Okay. Torbeck would have being hit with like the wind and the fog. He would have grabbed onto the door and like kind of poked his head out. What? And then I'll pull.
You see my hat?
Torbeck pulls his head back in. His fur is all like puffed out from the wind. And Torbeck said there's a staircase that goes right to the second floor, and it looks very safe.
Well done, Torbeck.
Much safer than the Ferris wheel that Torbeck climbed all the time.
Congratulations.
You're really good at climbing. That's wonderful, Torbeck.
He did say that there'd be
the door went up. Well done, Torbeck. You're a natural. Actually, you're the Scrappy-Doo of the group, not Flim Flam.
That sounds offensive.
Twig can be Flim Flam.
Torbeck doesn't sound. That doesn't sound like a compliment. But Torbeck's willing to put that aside. We do have to be careful of the breeze. It's a little windy outside.
Is that a Captain Caveman?
That's Scrappy-Doo.
He has some like thing he does.
Scrappy-Doo does the Scrappy-Doo to the rescue, and he like runs real fast, and his legs.
And then
are the
everybody
only thing
turns
that's
off the
animated, so
show.
they can save on animation costs.
Anyways, well, that's great. Good to know. But what did we say to Platinum? We have to clear the first.
We got to clear. So okay, that's the way we'll take. They'll never see it coming.
Torbeck will just shut the door and with one like horrific sharp claw, just like mark it. Or the number 3, if I can like carve it.
You do, but you carve it backwards.
Yes, I do.
Why did you write a
look like
B
a 3
on
in
the
a
door?
mirror, but to everybody else,
For the bees.
Door number 3.
Okay. Okay, Twig, it's your turn to choose a door.
Okay, well, do we want to stay on the same wall then?
It's up to you.
Up to you.
Just walk to the door, and I'll be there to protect you. Remember, what's the safety word?
Pineapple.
No. We agreed that it's poopy butthole.
You're right, poopy butthole.
That's the one.
What's everyone laughing about?
It's nothing.
Just a phrase. This is very serious. We're going for serious adventures.
Okay, I'm gonna go to door number 2.
Well done.
Oh, wow.
This is just the height of epitome of comedy.
Yeah, I don't think we've had a better session than this.
This is the highest highbrow tier of comedy
Right
we've
up
ever
here.
achieved.
Right up here.
I don't know why anybody watches this either.
Oh, I don't understand.
Shit.
Literally.
Oh God. Okay. I'm good.
She said the poop number.
You watch as Twig hops over and she jumps up and tries to reach the knob, and she's not able to reach it. She jumps up again and tries to reach the knob and is not able to reach it. She jumps up a third time and looks over to Gideon.
I'll walk over and grab the knob and turn it. Okay.
Okay.
Don't you have wings?
Yes.
They burned off.
And the door swings open, and at first you're met with darkness. And Twig steps into the room before you get a chance to fully look in.
Oh, hang on. This is boring. This is poopy balls. What?
Oh, get out of
She's on the other side, Ross!
I magically hold a door as if it has been closed tightly or barred, or open as if it had been magically wedged. Opening or closing the door requires a strength ability check, DC equal to my spell saving throw. Spell save DC 15.
This is a nightmare.
Oh, you crush it. One maybe.
Yeah.
It's a strength save?
Strength check.
It's a ability check.
So
Yeah.
you add 5.
Athletics.
Not athletics.
Oh, just strength.
Just strength,
Oh.
right? Athletics or
18.
strength?
18 if it's 5,
Strength.
20 if it's athletics.
18, so that's not...
It beats it either way. You are able to best my mind holding the door closed, and you are able to.
Oh, my brain.
You wrench the door open, and you look inside, and for a moment,
Twigs, are you okay in there?
you do not see Twig.
Oh,
You
fuck.
cannot see Twig anywhere.
Twigs, did you see Crummy's hat?
And as you look through this small room, it is a very small, it looks like almost like a linen closet, but you can see that this is clearly Bavlorna's fabric storage room. And you immediately look towards the mannequins where the dark mantle was that stole Cremmy's hat and the haphazard garments that had been created. And you can see that this is where that fabric is made. Rolled up on bolts are pieces of fabric that are clearly bits of garments that have been ripped apart and re-sewn together to create her own textiles. These are hideous and awful, and all of the scraps are piled on the floor in a heap. And then you see Twig's glasses poke out from beneath the scraps of fabric as she looks up at you, smiling.
Get a look at what I found.
And she holds up two, in comparison to her, very large pincushions. These pincushions are about a foot tall each. Each of them is humanoid in shape. One of them is an elderly humanoid mounted atop a tiny wooden rocking horse. The other is a far younger humanoid shape that has affixed to its back a pair of wooden wings. And Twig is looking at them and pulling pins in and out of them.
Put those down, Twig!
They're dolls. I love dolls.
No, they're not just dolls.
They're pincushions.
Yeah, I understand that.
I like that rocking
Yeah,
horse
see?
one.
And she pulls it out.
No, stop.
Why?
Hand them over, please.
But I want them.
No.
Why no?
Because you might be doing something real bad right now
I'm
that
gonna
you don't
put it in
understand.
this eyeball.
No,
No.
Twigsy, come on.
Can I put it back in the hole I got it from?
Nope.
Well,
Give him the pen. Give him the dolls.
Which one?
Both of them.
I can't keep the one with the rocking horse.
I might give them back. Let me take a look.
Okay.
She hands you the first one with the wings, and then she hands you the one with the rocking horse.
I look at the pins and I look at the dolls. Do they look like voodoo dolls?
They look like pincushions. They are clearly stuffed with sawdust, maybe bits of walnut or acorn shells. I'm not sure how familiar you would be with textiles. I imagine at least a little bit. But it seems up to code for what a pincushion would be made from. And the pins are sticking in them in places you would imagine that pins from a voodoo doll would be stuck into. But they're also stuck all over the dolls. I would like you to roll a perception check for me, please.
Somewhere else in the downfall, there's a bullywug
17.
who's like, "Oh, thank God!"
A 17.
17.
You turn over the one with the rocking horse,
holy shit.
and you see carved into the bottom of it, Sister Scabatha. You then take the other one and you turn it around and you see the bottom portion of what you had thought was just a dress appears to be some sort of tent
almost. And as you turn it around, you look at the wooden wings, and you see carved in with the same scrawl, Sister Scabitha. Or sorry, Sister Endolin.
Endolin. She sounds kind of hot.
All right, Twig. I understand these look fun.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna hold on to these.
Okay, but are you sure? Have you thought about it for a long time?
I mean, based on what I know about
given it a
things,
lot of consideration and stuff, and thought about Twig's feelings in the matter first?
these could come in real handy, you understand? And
Okay.
what if you accidentally drop them in the acid pool? They might just disintegrate.
I was thinking about it.
Well, that's why I have them and you don't.
Oh, the relief is so real. I hope I don't get dropped in acid.
God.
Okay, Grimmy, you know better than me. There's a reason Gideon loves you like he does, you know, all romantically and such.
Like a brother.
It's like, yeah, exactly right. I mean, there's nothing weird about that or anything.
No, I don't think.
Yeah, bros.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Yeah, like romantic bros. Bros.
Oh, I thought you meant
from
like
a certain point of view, I guess.
Yeah, you know, like.
Anyway, that's not important right now. Look,
Oh,
what I'm saying-
platonic romance.
Yeah, like romance,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, bromance. Yeah.
Be romance bros.
Yeah,
Romance bros.
Yeah, bros.
B as in best?
Yeah. Okay.
Ah.
Yeah,
Best
bros.
romance bros.
We don't need to continue this
Triple B.
conversation.
No, I know.
I'm gonna put these in my bag.
That just really kind of sucks, though. That I picked this dumb old room with just fabric and dolls I don't even get to keep.
Are you sure there's nothing else inside the room? Did you check thoroughly?
Oh, I looked through all of it when I was hiding inside that fabric.
Well, why don't you just take all the fabric?
I don't want it. It's ugly.
Oh, well.
It is kind of tacky.
Yeah, man, I wasn't gonna say it, but.
It smells like Maverick Roslov's house.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like different weights and stuff, and some are knits and some are wovens, and like you don't put knits and wovens together like that. That's just silly. The structure of the garment's gonna be unpredictable.
It kind of looks like me Graham's house.
I feel like this tiger print leotard is kind of fetching.
And it's all lovey. Yeah, but the crotch on that one's been eaten out.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch it. You were on my bad side.
Yeah, I was talking about the boss. I said the crotch on that one's been eaten out.
I should call her.
Everything reminds Torbeck of her.
Everything reminds me of Busty. I wonder how she's doing. I wonder how Busty's
I
doing
didn't
these
notice that the
days.
crotch had been eaten out.
Yeah, it's completely gone. Devoured.
Consumed.
Yeah, it's crotchless.
Oh, by weevils or moths.
Or both.
Presumably.
We should probably do just a quick check to make sure that there's nothing else.
Sure, they don't trust me.
No, I mean, I trust you, but
Gave you the dolls.
I'm going to make a mental note of this. Bavlorna may need mothballs.
anyway,
I
can
was
somebody
looking
light
at
it up?
some
I can't
big
fucking see
balls.
the dog. Don't
Well, I
light anything on fire, but if you can, like, do the thing you
Well,
do.
how flammable? Yeah, I mean.
You create an orb of light in your hand, and you see inside this tiny fabric closet that, even without an investigation check, that it is simply what Twig told you. It appears to be a fabric storage room, and nothing more.
There's a lot of tacky fabric in here.
All right. Well, good work, Twig. I think these will come in handy.
Okay.
I really should write me Graham, though, on a serious note. I haven't...
Oh, I thought you meant because of the leotard.
Gideon! I should write both Busty and Graham, actually.
Everything reminds me of her.
No.
And then you said I gotta write my Graham, man.
Well, it was a separate conversation. I was referring to the first thing I mentioned. You're a sick fuck,
You're
Gideon.
a sick fuck,
You're
man.
Get your
God.
mind out of the
Why
gutter.
don't you talk about your Graham in a time like this?
Because this looks exactly like a closet. It looks exactly like a closet. I haven't written her in months. I'm a bad grandson. Anyways.
Who's next?
Who gets to pick now?
Oh, Hootsie! Are you excited? No, pay attention. Get off your fly pad. Okay, pay attention. We're having an adventure. We're having an adventure right now. Okay, oh no, I'll give it. Oh, she's screaming. Okay. I want to deal with that.
Why do you pick the
fucking door.
Oh, fine, Hoochie. Oh, okay, are we better now? Okay, I'll buy you some Z-Bucks if you... Okay. Pick one of the remaining doors, Hoochie. This is your chance. How many doors are left?
2.
This is your chance.
She'll sit down and she'll go,
1 and 4 have not been picked.
where's my D2? Do I have a D2? I'll just do... Oh, yeah, I do.
Just roll a D20 and divide it by 20.
1. She'll go up and she'll put her paw on... She'll try to... She's like fiddling with the handle.
So Hootsie turns from where you guys are standing and traipses all the way across the room to the opposite side, to the wall with only one door on it. And she rears up to it and jiggles the handle and is eventually able to push the door open. It is dark, but it looks
Nicely
like there
done,
are
Hoochie.
an array of things in this room.
Hoochie, nice choice. I see you're so smart. You're an expert adventurer. See what happens when you pay attention and exert yourself. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. Let's take a look around.
Walking into the room, a horse's head leers at you with glossy eyes, its lips drawn back from pointed yellow teeth. The head is affixed to a large, 8-limbed armature made of wicker and wire, situated so that it faces the doorway where you entered. Near it is a wooden crate. Flies buzz about this disordered room, landing occasionally on animal carcasses that lie strewn in small piles. On a low table rests an assortment of tools, saws, knives, scrapers, a hand-cranked drill, sewing thread, needles, and awls. Around several taxidermic subjects in various stages of completion. A shelf that looks on the verge of collapse leans against the wall between 2 windows and bears the weight of dozens of stuffed horrors. Each one is an artless combination of 2 or more animals. This is clearly where Bavlorna stuffs dead creatures and stitches them together to create chimeric horrors. You see that a lot of these creatures that she's sewn together are wearing outfits. A pair of overalls, some bloomers, and a bow tie, all of them made out of the haphazard fabrics that she has stitched together in her fabric closet. And all of them, at least multiple animals stitched together.
Oh, good job, Hoochie. Let's go take a look at it. Whoa. Hoochie, get out. No, Hoochie. Okay, we're going to do group therapy later.
Oh my gosh.
The room smells pungent, as there is clearly no rhyme or reason for how she cures these carcasses, and there are piles where they are just left in various states of decay. And the moment you open this door, the moment you step into the door frame, you can smell the death and decay.
This is not a question that Torbeck would think to ask, but I'm curious. Does it appear like any of these creatures would not be like native to Prismere? Or do they all just seem to be like swamp wildlife?
I would roll a perception check at advantage. Because you have, I would say at this point, gotten very familiar with the types of creatures you see
at
in
advantage.
Prismere. Or at least in...
Son of a bitch.
Trust that.
Nah, I mean, perception. I got a 13.
Okay.
Plus, we're trusting. We're trusting.
All right, one more roll.
Yeah, this is important.
That's better. A 14.
There we go.
Looking around, you can't tell whether these wouldn't be native to Prismere, but you can definitely tell that there are creatures that look like they don't necessarily belong in Hither.
Okay.
Ooh.
Interesting. Again, Torbeck wouldn't care, but I'm curious. Torbeck doesn't like this.
I guess she has hobbies. I'm going to step forward. Does the horse head that was leering at me look like it has the same hair color as the horse portion of
It
the...
doesn't.
It doesn't. Okay. Let's... Frosty, why don't you take a look around in here? How about it?
Yeah, somebody
I'd be happy to.
see what's going on in there.
Yeah, thank you. I'll give you a hand. I just don't want to look through all of this myself.
No. I understand
Investigate good.
This is not your preference.
Yeah, no, I'll assist you as I investigate as well. Yeah.
I will go through methodically, and with as little motion as possible. I will look behind everything. I'll peek. I'll do a full survey of the room.
Roll an investigation check for me, please, at advantage, because you're going slowly and methodically.
Ooh.
Those are spells, not skills. That's just silly.
Oh, man.
Or advantage. So I'm going to go these two. Let's go with a 27. Natural 20.
Unfortunately, you don't really see much in here.
I'll pick up one.
Daddy hurt.
No, that's not.
No, that's yeah.
Every time Rod tries to look at something, I just get in the way.
You're helping.
Oh, look at it. I'm helping.
Grego, please get out of the way.
You make your way through the room, and the majority of this is exactly what you saw when you first made your way in. It is shelves filled with these chimeric horrors, parts strewn haphazardly about. You can tell that though she may do this, this may be a hobby of some sort, and she may create these with some sort of passion. The way that she navigates this room is clearly thoughtless. All aside from two things that eventually catch your eye. One of them being the crate. You make your way towards the crate. You take a dish that has a piece of rotting steak on it, and you move it to the side. The smell of it.
I'll use my mind.
The smell of it masked by the rest of the horrors and atrocities in this room. And I will say you use your mind hand to lift the lid, as hundreds of flies spill out of this box. You look in and see, curled up on the inside, is the carcass of an 8-legged reptile with spikes running down its back. It looks like it's in this box almost as if it was delivered this way, as if it was maybe precious in some way, or looking around, I will say you notice that there are other boxes that look similar that have been opened, almost as if this was a delivery of sorts.
Does it look whole?
It does.
So it looks like this is
looks like this was a
ramshackle
special creature
beast
that was delivered to her. I would say with Gricko's help and his familiarity with nature, you might be able to determine what type of creature it is.
If it looks monstrous, I will try to determine if I recognize what this creature might be.
A nature check for me, please.
Nature check. Oop.
Don't let any of the flies bite you. It's a sex thing.
What?
Never mind.
Oh my god, when flies bite you, it's a sex thing?
Yeah.
17.
Thanks.
17.
That was a thing I didn't need to know.
I've had sex with a lot of flies. I just thought I'd share that. Oh, this could be.
You look into the box, and you can see that this is clearly the carcass of a baby basilisk.
Oh.
It is a basilisk.
Oh.
Gosh, I haven't seen one of these in years. And it's a little youngin'. Look how small he is.
A basilisk. Do
It's
they
a
have any
little
special
baby.
abilities or magical powers that we should be aware of?
Well, I actually never killed a basilisk, but if you look at their eyes, it'll turn you to stone, similar Medusa rules.
So we should definitely not toy with this. Does its powers of paralyzation and stone making work even in death?
Well, it worked for Perseus, so...
Who?
And never mind.
Does it still have eyeballs?
I'm going to look very carefully and try to see if I
I'll back up.
can see if it has eyeballs.
You reach in and you slowly move back the eyelids of the basilisk. Though this creature has been dead for, you imagine, quite a while, it is beginning to decay. So it can't have been here that long. you are able to move back the flesh around its eyes, and with a sickening pump,
No thanks.
you feel the skin move around the eyeballs, and they are firmly there. A hazy white film has begun to cling to the irises, and you imagine that if in death basilisks could turn you to stone, that whatever hazy film is accumulating there would at the very least prevent it from happening, and you are able to look into its eyes and see that they are still intact.
Are you feeling like you're turning into stone, Grigo? I pull him back immediately.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't make light of the situation.
No.
This poor little fella. I will try to gently grab the basilisk, kind of ignoring how disgusting it is that it's rotting, and pull it out of the crate. If I feel like I don't know if I'm strong enough, and try to get it to where I can see how it was killed. Oh, this poor little fella.
Roll an Arcana check.
That's awful.
I'm gonna do one twist.
Yeah.
Oh, that's better.
Much better.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you, Chad. You're helping us out here. Arcana, what?
50% increase.
Oh, plus 0. 12.
You are not able to determine the spell that killed it, but I will say with that you are able to determine it was a spell that killed it. It is difficult to really be able to tell because as you slide your hands beneath it, you can feel that the underside is much more liquefied. And as you attempt to pull it out, the insides spill out of the stomach and splash against the bottom of the wooden
I'm
bowl.
sorry, little fella.
I told you that Witchlight was going to get dark.
This is amazing.
Torbeck really doesn't like this.
I've never said this before,
This
but I'm
poor
so
little
glad we didn't
fella.
eat dinner here.
Grigo,
Oh, what is Paul? He didn't do nothing. He had his whole life ahead of him.
it is sad. I don't know what to say. I know how much you care for monsters like this. This is a tragedy.
How valuable do you think the eyes are?
I feel like we just need to let it rest. Let it be.
Can it rest without its eyes?
Why are you thinking of something like that at a time like this?
Well, I mean, it may come in handy if we need to barter or something.
Perhaps something. But it is not our place. I say that only because we are intruders here. If we are poking around, I'd still like to leave most things in its place.
Technically, we were invited.
That's
3 days
true.
ago.
Well,
You've already taken dolls. I wanna join Grigo in this and pay respect.
I feel like we should do what Gideon does best. Not punch it.
Oh.
Light it on fire.
In a wooden hut? What the fuck are you talking about?
It's all filled with swamp water.
Yeah,
It's
everything
logged with
water.
water.
It's logged with water.
In the Feywild, you can't burn a house down even if you try real hard.
We'll keep it in the box. We'll keep it contained, and if we need to, we'll get ready with the water and we'll put it out. But I don't want this poor little precious basilisk to be a plaything
How come this?
to Bavlorna.
How about a middle ground, a compromise? We take one eye and leave the other one. Huh? It still has one eye, but we have the other one.
Oh, that still makes Torbeck feel icky. But you're the boss.
Hey, we're all bosses in this group. I propose that we put it to rest fully, or not at all.
All right.
Let's just let him have this.
Roll an Arcana check, Remy.
Oh boy.
Don't let me do that.
Yeah, I will.
How come you think this is the only one that showed up in the box? How's everything else out of it? Does it say who it's from?
Well, I feel like this is kind of, this is kind of like my room back home, where you get all these cool stuff and you want to build, and it wasn't emerald, but it's wood, I like to whittle, and so I would buy a bunch of supplies for
I'm
a bunch of
gonna dread
miniatures.
Oh.
I like to sow dissent among the party.
20.
And so your hobbies pile up, and it's called the pile of shame. I feel like this is part of Bevlona's pile of shame that she hasn't
Some people
gotten
call
to.
it the whip, the work in progress.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I feel. She hasn't just gotten to it yet.
You stare down at this basilisk, at these eyes specifically, and it takes a moment for you to remember a conversation that you overheard Guru having, where he was paying a very pretty penny for basilisk eyes, and that they can be used in some incredibly potent hexes and spells.
I'd be willing to pay 100,000 gold pieces for these.
Well, you drive a hard bargain, my friend. How does 20,000 sound?
Hungry for
A piece.
basilisk eyes.
1 second.
Well, when you shake a poor sinner's hand, we got a deal. Bum, bum, bum.
I start like listening to myself.
You're ready.
I would like to, if we're looking at the box, I want to kind of like be up, like my back against the table where the awl was, and I'd like to just sort of very subtly behind my back grab the awl off the table.
Okay. Roll a sleight of hand.
I'm twisting that. Okay.
Pretty good.
So Rick pretty perceptive. Dun 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 dun. That's an 18.
What's your passive perception, Mikey?
It beats. Oh, actually, it might be 18.
13.
How do I see? Oh, 17.
Oh.
You are easily able to.
I'll slide it up my sleeve. All right. Fine.
Fine. We can say goodbye.
Do you mind if I ease it along the way, though? Make sure that it takes fire. Have some cooking oil that'll help.
I think that's very nice of you, Cremmy.
You're also closer to the spirit world than I. Make peace with it.
Perhaps you can help it on its way wherever it is. Make sure it doesn't go to a scary place.
I could chant an incantation or two.
I will
that
say,
would-
you are leaning up against the workbench. You don't even need to take an awl. There is an eyeball scoop. It's designed specifically for
It's
the
even got one
removing
of
of
those
eyes.
thumb mechanisms that uses the little blade on the
It's
inside.
basically like an ice cream scoop.
Yeah.
Melon baller.
Yeah.
I want to use the awl.
Okay.
You sick bastard.
I think it'll be more subtle.
That's very nice of you, Cremmy. thank you for seeing, where I'm coming from. This is my spirituality, you understand? So I appreciate you, Cremmy.
I will lean down and I'll say, I'll like vaguely under my breath, like really low, kind of like chant some of the things that maybe I heard on the swamp. Basically making stuff up. As I take a bottle, and I look in my bag from the apron that I have. I'll take a bottle of oil, and I'll pour it over the body with one hand, and then sort of use my torso to kind of cover the rest. And I'll flip the awl out of my sleeve, and I'll take an eye, and I'll kind of roll it down my other sleeve, and then I'll open the other eye. I'll hopefully get both down my sleeve, and then finish sort of pouring the bottle of oil out. I'll throw it in the corner, and I will, as subtly as I can, try to cast mirror image over it, where the eyelids are still
Minor illusion.
Minor illusion, thank you. Where the eyelids are still a little open, and you can turn
Oh
out
my
the eyes are still in
God.
there.
Okay. I'll say, with that level of care, you are easily able to do this. I'll keep your sleight of hand.
All right, Gid. Let her rip. Start with the head. Out of respect.
Yeah.
To do with your
heard that
incantation,
chant
I
before.
assume.
Yes, exactly right. I'm passing it to the other side.
Oh, thank you, Clemmy. That's so nice of you.
I stick my hand down into the crate and I ignite. I find a section that he's covered in oil close to the head, and I ignite it.
And the basilisk burns. You hear the sounds of hissing and pops as the remaining liquid inside of the body takes to the fire, and the wooden crate around it, having come recently to this place from somewhere else, was not nearly as waterlogged as everything else, and you are able to burn it. It creates a bit of smoke, but the window off to the side of the room is actually open, and with the breeze that whips around this high up, it swirls through the room, and the smoke is funneled out of the window.
I'll take my cane and sort of do some motions in the prestidigitation. I'll like turn some of the smoke like purple and green.
Just more bullshit.
Yeah. Oh,
Can you make sure that Bavlorna or anyone else can't smell the smoke?
Oh, good idea. And I'll like make it smell like swamp water.
Oh.
His soul will pass on to Gede now. Got a place in this.
Oh, well, thank you, Clemmy. That's very nice.
Yeah, it's mighty kind of you.
And I go to take my hat off. And then I'll reach down into my bag and let the eyes roll into the bag.
With two soft plops, the eyes land at the bottom of your bag, but nobody else hears the sound. As Frost, you continue to make your way around.
I was just going to say,
the
I saw
room.
two fucking things.
And you, with this done, you do not pay as much
wait.
attention as everyone else does to what's happening here. You do feel sympathy for the creature, but its death had already come long before this moment.
It
And
makes
your
me glad
eyes,
that Gricko is getting
Yeah.
what he needs.
and your eyes are on a small wooden box with drawers that sits on the work table. Whereas most of the things on this work table are tossed about haphazardly and nothing really has its place. It's quite a mess. This table, this cabinet of drawers is in pristine condition. There are about 20 small square pull-out drawers lodged within it.
Perfectly square drawers?
Perfectly square drawers.
Nice.
None of them seem to be labeled. All but one that has an hourglass symbol etched into it. And as you look at the drawer itself, you notice the handles specifically. There are these elaborate brass handles. And they all have the rough amount of wear. All but the one with the hourglass symbol, which clearly has seen more use. You look towards it, and you pick one of the random drawers and you pull it open.
Or choose the third drawer if I...
Perfect. You choose the third drawer. And looking into it, you see that what is inside this drawer is, at first, what appears to be a pair of glass eyeballs. But upon further inspection, you realize that they are petrified eyeballs.
Oh.
What creature they came from, it's impossible to tell. You open up drawer 6. Another pair of petrified eyeballs. Smaller than the others, clearly from a different creature. You begin to pull drawers and drawers and drawers until you get to drawer 8. The drawer with the hourglass symbol on it. And as you pull it open, you see nestled on a velvet cushion is not a pair of petrified eyeballs, but one wooden eyeball. Scrawled across the back is the word Scabatha.
What the fuck? Scabatha. Are they covered? This is out of question. Are they covered in like varnish at all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Probably nothing.
And it appears to be the size of a human eyeball.
Do I get the feeling that it has any arcane or otherwise magics?
I will say it is difficult to tell what, but it does thrum with some sort of magics.
I'm gonna
Thank you for that word, by the way. Fuck you, dude.
I'm gonna thrum.
I'm thrumming as we speak.
Okay.
Interesting. Maybe it's the mood of the room and everything that surrounds me, but very impulsively, I look back and I see the ritual, and I feel that this is something that could come in handy. But for whatever reason, I don't feel like
you said
telling.
thrum and handy within like 2 minutes.
I mean, if you're gonna have a handy,
Thrum.
I pocket it. I put it into my robe.
It has been, at this point, it feels like it's been longer, but in real time, it's been about 10 minutes since Kremi's hat was taken. And you know, Gricko, that the time has not completely spent as you feel Kremi's hat at the very, very top of the house. It's not moving. It stayed in the same place for the last 4 or 5 minutes. And then in this moment, you feel it pop out of existence.
Oh.
The hat disappears out of his senses.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because the spell ended, or no?
I'm imagining your spell does not...
It no longer senses it.
It no longer senses it, as in something has taken it away from 1,000 feet or however.
And he's not spent.
It just got planified.
I don't tell Crummy this.
The secrets are mounting. Well, shall we? I think there's one door remaining. If we're gonna...
Wait, what was all that stuff? Should we take it with us?
Oh, this is a very strange... Look here. All these drawers filled with glass eyes, and I open a few and close a few.
Well, Crummy, these are probably humanoid eyes, so who cares? So because you were such a wonderful friend and didn't take the basilisk eyes, why don't you just have your helping of these?
There are some nice colors in there. I don't think they're magical or anything.
Yeah, scabified.
Petrified of some kind. I don't know what kind of animal.
Yeah, they're varnished.
I could probably make some kind of potion or something.
The only one that's varnished is
the wood.
The wooden one.
The deduction I make is that perhaps she uses these to complete the eyes of the taxidermied monsters that you see randomly assembled
I would say
around
that's a
us.
very good deduction, and you imagine, you don't want to say it outright, but you feel very confident that you were correct.
I did say it outright.
Gideon hears in the back of his head, "A woman after my own heart." Oh, taxidermy.
Oh, we gotta get out of this room. We gotta get to the next door, all right? Door number 4.
There's nothing in here for us, just information. I think that we've learned a little bit about Bavlorna. Let's move on.
You got the wooden eyeball.
I got the one in my hand.
Oh, Frost! Well, I think he was handing it to you.
No. I pocketed it, didn't say a thing.
Okay.
None of you know it.
Nobody knows a thing.
And we don't know anything about the organic eyeballs either.
Oh, Bavlorna's tearing us apart!
You're tearing me apart, Lisa!
Tearing me apart, Lisa!
Let's quickly take another look around, and then we'll make our way up the stairs, perhaps. One of them.
But we have one more door.
We're not gonna look in the 4th door, man?
We have one more door.
That's what I was just saying. Let's take let's take the rest of the look around that we need to do, and then we can go up one of these 2 staircases.
I'm sorry, Hoochie, that was the door that you picked.
Yes.
Here's your fly pad back.
All right, let's get this over.
Okay, let's go.
I open the last.
You make your way across the room and head towards the door that you have not opened. As you turn the knob and wrench the door open, it makes a loud creaking noise that echoes throughout the bottom portion of this house. It actually, you jump at the sound of it. It's unexpected. The other doors had not been like this. This is a room that is clearly not open often. You look inside, and what you see is a large cupboard that stands alone in this dark room. Fine scrollwork frames the cupboard's 2 doors, which are bridged by a circular panel of dark wood. The panel is inlaid with a silver hourglass sigil. There is nothing else in this room.
Frosty, what do your tiger eyes see?
I'm sorry, I was distracted by the sound of the squeaking door. Felt like someone just logged on to AOL Instant Messenger.
That's a throwback. Holy shit.
Wow.
Instantly transported back to fucking 2000 or some shit.
80% of our audience won't understand that.
80% is low.
Oh god, I'm so awa right now.
I'll walk in and I'll just give it another quick go around of investigation.
I'll help
see if
you.
I can.
You walk into the room and you stand in front of this this cabinet. You can see the ornate scrollwork that decorates it, and that that oval-shaped placard in the very center with the hourglass sigil on it. And as your eyes scan the rest of the room, there is nothing in here, bar two things: manacles attached to the walls.
No, Torvik really doesn't like this, and he takes a step back.
I'm going to say, well, I'm starting to get a little nervous because this also reminds me of me grand's house. I'm gonna start knocking. Well, she used to have a special drawer that was hidden to keep the good plates in. She'd say, "How Greco, get out the good plates," and I would have to knock around to figure out how to do it every time. So I try to knock to see if there's any special compartment.
You imagine that maybe on the inside of it there would be, but currently it's shut.
Oh,
So it is a cabinet that is closed, and it has a sigil of an hourglass.
okay. Well, I will open it up. I guess
Go in.
I'll open it up.
You attempt to, but it appears to be locked. I will say you do easily notice that the oval-shaped hourglass sigil encompasses both doors.
Does it look manipulatable in some way? Like I could turn the hourglass, or
As you look closer at it, you do see that it appears to be manipulatable.
I will manipulatable it.
In which way?
I'll turn it counterclockwise if I can twist it in this way.
How many degrees?
Do a 360 and walk away.
No. If I did a 360, it'd be back where we started from.
What? That's not how that works. 360 is turning away.
No. You're thinking of a
do
180.
360.
You're thinking of a 180.
But
We're reenacting a scene from the film Last Action Hero, right?
360 is more than 180, though.
Yeah, it's a full turn. It's a full turn away.
It's more dramatic.
Yeah, thank you, Torbeck.
But it's an hourglass. You want to turn it upside down.
Let's see what that did.
You put your hands on the sigil, and you do see the way that this is recessed in. And at first glance, it looks like it covers both the doors, almost blocking them from opening. But now that you are looking at the sigil, you see that it is recessed in a way that you can push on it and turn it. And as you do, you can hear the mechanics on the inside clicking. And as it clicks into place, you see that it clicks at all different angles, but you have it in your mind that you would turn an hourglass to let the sand begin to drain. And so you turn it to that 180 position. It clicks into place, and you hear nothing else. You slowly press your hand in, and with a soft click, the doors pop open.
Oh, shit. I'm finally smart.
Frosty, you're a genius.
I know.
It only took you 37 episodes.
Inside the cupboard, it is divided into 2 rows of small compartments, each one stuffed with pouches and other tiny containers. You begin to look around, and something catches your eye immediately. A small cast iron cauldron.
Still hot.
Nuh-uh.
Look, it's a small cast iron cauldron.
Oh.
It's well seasoned.
Is there a lid on it?
I love you, Mikey.
You hear nothing. as you open
That is a great Oh, well, that's what the pot in me grand's house used to sound like. Is me gran a witch?
You hear nothing as you open the cauldron. But it does seem to be an exact miniature version of the type of cauldron you would imagine Bavlorna would have. And inside is a piece of parchment with the same script on it that you've seen on so many things. The pin cushions that say Scabatha and Endolin, as well as the etching on the back of the wooden eyeball.
I'll take it.
Does it look like
in a strange curling script?
Strange
it says the
curling
word,
script on this.
It says
parchment.
the word spittle spew.
Spittle spew.
Some kind of magical code word or something?
Perhaps it could be our new safety word.
I look at the cauldron to see if it did anything. He's at it.
I will say the cauldron, just like in Lord of the Rings, the spectacular film from 2003. That's when it came out, right?
That's when Return of the King came out.
Oh, was Fellowship of the Ring earlier than that?
2001, yeah.
Oh my god, the acclaimed film Fellowship of the Ring, the way the ring reacted to the flame, you see a similar thing as you say the word spittle spew. You, Gricko, you feel the cauldron heat up in your hands for a second as you see a dark red ember glow on the bottom of it, as if the cauldron itself is being heated up. But outside of that, it does nothing else.
Frosty, look! I assure you it's not cool.
It looks like it's warmed by saying this word. It must be a word of power.
Well, like an activation.
Does it hurt?
word.
Or is this warm?
It's
Like
just
a
warm.
hot cup of tea?
And it quickly goes away. It
Oh.
seems like it reacts, but this tiny cauldron is not what the word is intended for.
Oh, Frost, let Torbeck say.
Why?
Torbeck just wants to look.
Let him include him.
Yeah, come on. Why are you trying to exclude Torbeck,
Let him live.
Frosty? Torbeck's one of our best mates.
Okay. Thanks, Frost.
Very nicely done, Torbeck.
All right.
Here, do you want to hold the cauldron?
Yeah.
There you go.
What if that's what that little thing said in front of the mirror?
Here, I'll put the lid on you like a little hat.
Gideon, that's very smart.
Well, I just assumed you were going to say it, so I just, I thought I'd get in front of
Do
it.
you
You
think
should say
you
more
have to,
things that you assume I would say.
Do you think you have to stand inside of the water to say it?
Oh, God, I hope not.
No, look, we're not going to try that. Why don't we try it in front of the Mia first before we get in the water?
Well, the mirror's in the water.
Can we, look at it?
It's facing into the water.
Well, we got Torbeck could do it. He's like 10 feet long. He can just kind of slink around it, stare into his, own reflection.
Torbeck does have very long
Can
arms.
you imagine what Torbeck would look like if he waded through the water and it disintegrated all the hairs on his legs from knees down?
Trust Torbeck, Twig. Torbeck tried.
I'll have a little hat now.
Spittle spew.
It warms up.
Oh.
As you listen, you can hear embers crackling far off in the distance. It's almost as if you're it's almost as if it's radio transmitting the sound from somewhere else.
So we hear it, and then it's... Oh, we gotta hurry! Oh, the timer!
I wonder what happens when you say it a third time.
Spittle spew.
Beetlejuice pops out.
Hey, baby! Nice fucking model!
Torbeck has an idea.
Torbeck! Very nice. What's your idea?
Websel tips!
What did you say?
Oh!
Websel tips!
Nothing happened.
That's really smart, Torbeck. I really think that would have worked.
Torbeck doesn't want to hold this anymore.
Oh no.
Mad.
Salt? Wait. Torbeck, you're a genius! Mad Salt Tids.
I thought these were F's.
Mad Sulfids. Jizz. That's not to say jizz, Frosty.
It does, look.
Mad salt jizz!
Mad salt.
Mad salt jizz!
Mad salt jizz.
Mad salt jizz!
Mad salt jizz!
Mad salt
Keep it
jizz.
down.
Mad salt
Oh,
jizz!
sorry, Torbeck is sorry.
I think a bunch of pests broke into
Oh no.
Mad salt, or is that salt? That's kind of like an A, right?
Could be a D.
Oh,
Is it jazz? I love jazz.
Still. It definitely says tids.
What if it just does what it says on the tin?
Crummy and Gideon, why don't you give it a try?
That says spitless spew.
No, turn it upside down.
Spittle.
Oh, definitely says spittle spew.
Every time, it's getting hotter every time you say this, right?
Mad. Is that an A or I guess these are A's? Mad salt.
See?
Mad salteds.
No, jizz.
It's not jizz.
Mad
There's no jizz.
Because there's a
no
D and a
J.
G. You see the D and the G?
There's no G.
The
That's
G and
an
the G
I.
they're connected.
It's like an I, but it's upside down, and that's a P, but it's upside down. That's a S, but it's upside down.
Well, let's take it to the mirror.
Well, I think it's very obviously that this is how Bavlorna heats up her bathwater. That's obvious.
Well, there you go. You figured it out.
I feel like we still got to knock around in case it's the good plates.
All right.
Go get your good plates.
Do you think?
I'm having children
Torbeck,
over for supper.
What are you doing, Dorbeck? Is there something in there? Do you taste anything?
It's well seasoned.
Torbeck is not sure.
What is it? What does it taste like? I can't imagine what she cooks in this tiny pot.
A tongue is like giving a full, like, it's a near clean sheen.
10-foot reach.
This is very interesting.
Okay.
Well, Torbeck's out of ideas.
I'm gonna just try to see if there's anything else besides this. I'm gonna knock around and see if there's any secret compartments.
You knock around. You don't find any secret compartments, but you do find some loose buttons of various shapes, colors, and materials.
Oh, that
Stray
button.
cutlery, all from different sets. Unopened love letters, not written or addressed to Bavlorna, but to long-dead people with whom Bavlorna has had dealings. Old, frayed, coiled-up belts, pressed flowers and loose dried petals, a horseshoe, feathers from various birds, and lastly, in the most decorative of drawers, one chipped teacup.
Oh, well, a chipped teacup. This is kind of like the good cups that Gran had.
It's not
I
gonna
loved
come
how
to life,
excited
is it?
Rich got.
Otherwise, it'll be a live, I guess not human, Merfolk. What was he? Ladrin?
He was a
Oh,
thing.
heart.
Well,
Yeah, but
the only thing that's really of important, we're never going to see buttons again, so I don't care about these. There's some letters that could be important. Gideon, why don't you hide on
No, wait, everybody, no, put it back. Put it back, no, but these are her personal effects.
And then this chipped cup.
We stuck her up. What's the word I'm looking for? When you
Stuck her up,
Wait,
Frosty.
when
What
you-
the
Fuck
fuck?
has got his tongue 10 feet into her pot, man.
I want us to put everything back. These are her personal
space
effects.
now?
We stood her up. We stood her up for the original meeting that we were going to make, and then thank you, fucking chat. We stood her up, and then we're going through all of her things. We have to return all of these where we found it. We're just trying to gather information, not her things.
Man, this pot doesn't taste that great.
You notice that he has licked clean some of the cast iron from inside of the pot.
Your mouth starts to go numb.
Just like, spit out some rust.
This is made of lead.
Tormek doesn't feel.
Oh no! It smells burning feathers.
Tormek, no! Well,
I like Chat's suggestion. It's a chamber pot.
Oh, small. Why does it get warm?
It's the Lornley's chamber.
It's like a heat seeder.
like Japanese toilets.
We finally say the word backwards the correct way in a bidet.
What a fantastic magic item.
Well, there's a little cup here that's interesting. Mad salt tids.
A spittle spew.
Look, I think it just heats up.
I'm going to see if anything is engraved and what the pattern might be.
Look, I feel like in a past life, we put a lot of effort in getting a much bigger version of that, all the way through some doors, up a trap door, into a bedroom, and found out that it did that exact same fucking thing, reading some sort of goofy magic word. I think this is the exact same fucking thing.
You have a hunch?
That was so cute.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's my presumption.
Tormek just thinks there's something more to all this.
Well, what if we tried to scoop up some of the bath water and heat it up in there?
All right, I guess.
Let's go.
Tormek will do it.
Perhaps there's a puzzle afoot.
Does it have a handle like this?
Frosty, you like tea?
Thank you.
Just before we leave the room, I wanted to take a quick look at the manacles, the actual manacle portion, to see if they look like if there's any like torn skin, dried blood. If I get the sense that they've
Roll
been
an investigation check.
Ooh. 20.
One set of manacles seems to have been used a long while ago. Any remnants of skin or blood or anything like that would have been long melded into the iron by now. But one set of them, you do, at first glance, see nothing. But as you're putting them down, the light that's coming in through the open doorway from the bathing room catches on what very clearly appears to be a scale. And as you look closer at it, you recognize this scale. You recognize the color to be that of Sir Talavar.
Oh, shit.
I pick out the scale out of the manacle. Looks like she was keeping Talavar here.
Wow, and Wigglewog and Morgo were able to bust him out?
I guess, maybe.
How'd they manage to do that?
That's pretty impressive, frankly.
A good reminder of what we're up against.
Could he have escaped?
Who?
Oh, you missed that.
You mentioned.
Oh, yeah, this is before your time.
Yeah, you were stalking us saying, I don't kill my friends at the time.
Tormek doesn't think Tormek said that.
That's how I envisioned it.
Said it right to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, you were like, hello, governor. You know what I mean?
Sad that you ain't gonna live in it.
You were like,
That doesn't sound like Tormek at all.
who is Torbeck in it?
Tormek's not sure that happened.
Yeah, and then you walked in and you said, who ordered the fish and chips?
Oh, yeah. You said, hey, bruv.
Tormek does like fish and chips.
I mean, who doesn't like fish and chips? I mean,
Fish and chips.
You guys want to get fish and chips after this?
I don't like fish and chips is in Pennsylvania.
Where?
It's where all the sperm trees are.
What?
Pennsylvania.
Wait.
Worm trees.
Is Pennsylvania?
Huh?
Pennsylvania is how you pronounce it.
Oh!
Yeah,
Pennsylvania. Is that when we went the adventure at Hershey Park? Oh, yeah. You remember our adventure What's
something
energy bar
called
with,
sperm trees here?
Well,
with the 1 pound chocolate bars?
I call them sperm trees because when they're giving off their odor, they smell very spermy.
Let's unpack that at another time.
We'll discuss that in group therapy after this.
I've talked about it before. I don't know why you're seeming so weird.
That's pretty good.
That's very funny. Come on, you guys. Let's go out of here and
Let's try to warm the bath water.
Yeah, we're gonna warm the bath.
Yeah.
I will walk to the tub, and with my 10-foot reach, I will dip the cauldron into the bath water, trying not to do my best to not touch the water, using the handle, and then I will set it down next to the tub with all of us around it and say, "Spittle spew!"
Spittle spew.
The bottom of the cauldron seems to heat up, and you see the bath water begin to boil, and then it simmers and goes cold.
That's it!
I'm
Well-
telling you. You don't have these visions of a past life. You were there, and you were there, and
What?
no, you weren't there. You weren't there either. Yeah, Twig was there.
What do you
That's
mean?
Sort of weird.
Is this all past lives thing? I used to date a girl who was into that. It's like, oh, in your past life, you said this to me. You said if I turned into a worm, you wouldn't love me. Like, oh, here we go again.
No, none of this is real.
I don't subscribe to
you
none
were
of
there,
that.
so for some reason
I don't subscribe to none of that. No, that's ridiculous.
Well, what are you saying? Just none of this matters at all? We found this weird pot that's just totally irrelevant?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of the like, oh look, it has a magical scroll with a magical word, and all it does is heat up a little bit.
Should we return it?
No.
Does anyone even want to try and say the word in front of the mirror?
Yeah, let's
You do it.
Why did you do it?
Oh.
Well, hold on. Yeah,
Here.
hold this. There you go.
Just don't. Maybe pour the bath water out.
Torbeck's not interested in that anymore. You can have it.
Yeah, here, you can have the lid.
Oh, thanks!
Yeah, that's better than that.
Does the lid
Shorts and
get hot?
everything. I look
Wait.
like I'm asking for
Yeah. You can, oh, we're driving. We're in a race.
Trick or treat.
Yeah. Trick or treat, I guess. Fucking hags.
Oh. Is it close to souring yet?
I'd like to try and get, I guess, close to the mirror. The mirror's like right on the corner of the pool, though, right? It's not in
So
the pool.
it is in the pool. So you do have to get into the water to face the mirror properly.
You better Dante's Peak this bitch.
You keep saying that.
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
You guys don't know enough about my backstory.
Well, you never share, Frosty.
Yeah.
You never talk about yourself.
All right, let's just see what happens. I'll try and jump into the bath very quick with the intention of shouting the word and then jumping back out. And I jump in and
The water splashes up all over you.
Winter shins! Fuck! No, what's the word?
Hold on.
It's Spittle Spew. Say Spittle Spew.
Spittle spew! And if that's not it, maybe mad jizz tip!
Don't forget about Wetzel tips!
No, mad salt jizz. Mad salt jizz.
It's
Not
fucking
jizz
salt
tits.
jizz.
No. Spittle Spew.
Salt
Spew. You gotta say Spittle. Mad tits jizz. Mad jizz tits.
Oh god, are we sure? I'm sucking
Tips, jizz,
I think you got it.
my sack.
I can save it. So the blisters are everywhere.
Spittle Spew. You got this, Gideon.
Oh god, there's candy!
And this goes on for roughly 3 minutes.
Oh my god.
I can see Gideon shit!
The mirror is unchanged.
After I've spent 3 minutes in the poison bath, shouting and screaming, I just step casually out.
It's just skeletons down.
It makes xylophone noises.
That's awful. Oh, God.
Well, that didn't fucking work.
It was a good idea, though, Gideon. I'm glad you lost all of the flesh below your waist. For it.
Just below the knees, man. I never risked the flesh just below my waist.
Let's continue.
Wasn't there a hallway with mirrors? Let's go to the safe staircase that you said, Torbeck.
Not the one with bees?
No, the safe door.
Torbeck never mentioned any bees.
No, never mentioned. What are you talking about, bees?
Well, he wrote a bee on the door.
Oh.
No, that's a 3. It's door number 3.
That's a 3?
No, it's an E.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Nice. Well, you know.
I will tell you. Your kid's outdoing you tonight.
I'm not a smart man.
No, Frosty,
I do my best.
Frosty, no,
it's fine.
No, you found that. You found some strange looking things in the chest and didn't tell us about. That's quite nice. You found a basilisk.
No.
Well, this thing fucking sucks. I throw it over my shoulder, and if it accidentally arcs through the air and lands in the Super Mario tube in the center of the pool.
Is that what you're trying to do?
Well, I'm just trying to get rid of it, but if it ends up happening, I mean, I won't be upset about it.
You know what? Sure. You are having this conversation as you look at this cauldron, frustrated as you feel one of the blisters pop on your shin. You take the cauldron and you toss it over your shoulder. You hear it thwack against the stone of the well, and then you hear it plop down into the inside, and you would expect to hear a splash. You don't. You hear a strange suctioning thwop as all of a sudden you see and hear the rumbling of the well. And out from the inside you begin to see this long gelatinous substance begin to spill out and over. A jelly worm of some sort with its maw completely agape, rings of circular teeth spiraling deep down into its throat. It's about 10 feet diameter as it begins to pry itself up out of the well, its teeth rotating in circles almost like chainsaw blades as it moves its head this way and that, trying to figure out where this thing came from. You can see the cauldron wedged into a side of its gelatinous form begin to sizzle and melt as this entity is this worm, for all intents and purposes, as the book would call it, very much gelatinous cube-like. As this cauldron begins to sizzle and pop, it seems to sense your presence and your sound as it begins to barrel towards you, and that is where we'll end the sound.
Oh! Willie, no! It's Willie the worm! Please!
Trolls in the deep. They are coming. They are coming.
Fool of a goblin!
Well, shit.
We're not done.
We're not.
What's next? Somebody else?
Add Vatris and chill.
Advatrish.
Oh, did I tell you the recent one that I saw?
No.
Aventus.
Aventus. Aventus and chill.
Aventus.
Aventus. That's a good one.
We're going to do Adventus Healthcare and chill.
Why is he a dentist? Because this is his name.
And we're talking about our favorite moments. We're going to hang out. We're going to chill. We're going to vibe. We're going to answer questions. And we're going to, really just vibe out as we wrap up the session. As before we fight, it is... So basically, it's a worm-shaped gelatinous cube is what I'm reading.
It is the properties of a gelatinous cube, but it is... I call it the jelly worm. So it is like a gelatinous
like
jelly.
Like a giant gummy worm.
Like a giant gummy worm.
Jelly the worm.
It's jelly the worm.
Okay.
And what I will say before we cut over, you do notice that as its body fully comes out of the tube, a spurt of water spills out of the well and immediately begins filling up the pool. It is very clear to you in this moment that whatever this creature is that's wedged itself down into the well is the reason the well wasn't working. And you could also deduce is the reason the water is so acidic.
I'm so glad it came out of the tube.
Is it filling the pool though now?
Yeah.
That's not good.
It turns up, opens its mouth, and a fireball comes out.
TPK.
It's gonna be fine.
It's about 3 feet long and about.
The return of Willy the Worm!
You said it was like 10 feet in diameter, so it's actually 30 feet long.
Yeah,
it's just 10 scaled up 10 times.
It's a Willy Worm.
It's Giga Kaiju Willy Worm.
It's amazing.
Why don't we do Avenged and Chill?
What's that, Mike?
I already said it.
We're in
They know what it is.
Moments.
We're not going anywhere. Stick around.
We're not going anywhere. If you are going to go somewhere, we are.
Just don't.
Tomorrow we're doing a Patreon thing.
Yeah, we got a Patreon.
Of some kind.
We got a Scarab Plus Discord Q&A.
Scarab Plus. So join us at the Scarab Plus
Stage Q&A.
tier if you want to hang out in Discord for that.
Yeah, ask us questions.
Yeah.
For those of you who are saying goodbye, this session was brought to you by Audible.
That's right.
Audible and our Patreon is the best way to support us. Our merch shop is also a great place. We have some fun merch incoming, as you all know.
Oh, yeah.
On Monday, we are doing Neon Nights. That's the plan. And on Wednesday, you tease it a little bit more.
We might be crafting some mines.
Ooh.
Derek and Andy will be crafting mines. Andy's first time ever playing Minecraft as Torbeck with Frost / Derek teaching him how to play. The Minecraft master.
It should be a disaster in the best possible way.
It is going to be a disaster.
It should be a beautiful disaster.
I can't wait to see how many times you die.
Oh, hundreds. If that's even feasible.
Can you? Well, then you can die in like the survival mode. But like, or is that what you're gonna
Yeah,
play?
we're going to play survival.
Oh my god, that's pretty cool.
You can't play creative and learn Minecraft. You have to earn it. You have to earn all that gold if you want to make a giant golden cock. And who doesn't?
Anyway,
We can do that!
let's chill.